Hey everyone, and welcome to F1 Chicane. This is the very first episode of Just My Opinion, the podcast where I break down some hot takes and personal thoughts on everything Formula One. Today, we're diving into a topic that's been on the minds of fans for years. Why has Ferrari struggled to win a championship for almost 2 decades? Their last title came back in 2007 with Kimi Räikkönen, and since then, it's been downhill. Struggles to stay competitive, poor race strategy, and an overall lack of consistent performance. Let's break it all down into 4 key points. Chapter 1. Strategy. We've got to start with strategy, because let's be honest, how many times has Ferrari thrown away wins with decisions that just made no sense? Think about Alonso's missed titles, or all those poles Leclerc secured that never turned into victories. To me, there's a clear gap when it comes to the brains behind the pit wall. Other teams seem to have engineers and strategists who work seamlessly together, while Ferrari often looks disjointed. That lack of cohesion means Ferrari sometimes has to take bigger risks just to stay in the game, especially during the dominant eras of Hamilton or Verstappen. When you don't have the best car or the sharpest team behind the scenes, your only shot is to roll the dice, and that's rarely a recipe for consistency. Chapter 2. The drivers. Now let's talk about the drivers. Yes, Kimi was the last world champion in red, but it's not like Ferrari's lacked talent since then. Alonso has 2 titles, Vettel 4, and Hamilton 7. So the issue clearly isn't just the guy behind the wheel. Maybe it's about how Ferrari works with their drivers. Are they really being listened to? Are they included in the decision-making process? We've all heard the radio outbursts. Leclerc especially has been pretty vocal lately. And then there's morale. When a top driver joins Ferrari with big hopes but ends up with poor results, how long can you expect them to stay motivated? Vettel's final seasons with Ferrari are a perfect example of that burnout. And speaking of driver changes, let's talk about Hamilton. The Leclerc-Sainz duo was working pretty well, so why drop Sainz? Maybe Ferrari saw Hamilton as a game-changer, but after all these years, shouldn't it be clear by now that the issue isn't the driver, it's the car? Chapter 3. Innovation and the car. Remember Brawn GP in 2009? They came in, brought some clever and borderline legal innovations to the car, and won the championship. Same goes for Mercedes with the DAS system, or Red Bull with their asymmetrical braking. These weren't copycat ideas. They were bold, risky, innovative. So why doesn't Ferrari do the same? Back in the Schumacher era, they must have had tricks up their sleeve too. We're talking about dominant seasons like 2002 and 2004. But now, Ferrari seems stuck in a very classic idea of what a race car should be. Innovation means taking risks. Ferrari seems to prefer waiting to see what works for other teams and then adopting it. A good example, those famous Red Bull side pods in 2023. Why wait until they're proven to work before trying something similar? Bottom line, copying isn't innovation. Pushing boundaries is. Chapter 4. Ferrari and F1. Looking back, let's rewind for a second. The early 2000s were Ferrari's golden era. If you were a tifoso back then, most Sundays were celebrations. But let's look at the numbers. Schumacher won his first title with Ferrari in 2000. Before him, the last champion was Scheckter in 1979. That's 21 years without a title. So what we're seeing now, it's not entirely new. F1 goes through cycles. Teams rise and fall. Dominance in F1 doesn't last forever, and droughts happen. Yes, Ferrari's got internal problems, but they're not a failed team. They're a team that's been trying to keep up in a sport that's evolved fast. maybe faster than Ferrari was ready for. They've been stuck in old-school thinking and haven't had the leadership stability or technical direction to build a lasting winning culture. So, what do you think? Agree? Disagree? That's totally fair. After all, this was just my opinion. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a comment, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.